The Nintendo Switch offers an unparalleled gaming experience, letting you enjoy games big and small, no matter whether you're on the couch or on the go. That said, I've rounded up the top free games on the Nintendo Switch, from exclusives to third-party hits. Arguably the biggest free-to-play game available right now, Fortnite has grown from an ambitious multiplayer shooter to a cultural behemoth. The game's objective is simple: defeat 99 other players in a free-for-all battle and be the last one standing. You drop into a massive world and must quickly track down some equipment, finding guns, building structures, and eliminating other players as you go. Meanwhile, the boundaries of the map will begin to constrict, funneling you into a central arena where you'll fight to be crowned the winner. On paper, Fortnite's a fairly standard battle royale shooter, but over the years its reach has stretched far outside of the genre. Whether it's new game modes, crossover cameos, in-game concerts, movie screenings, or an ever-expanding story with interactive events, Fortnite is now a multimedia sensation. All of Fortnite's multiplayer modes are free to play, with microtransactions limited to cosmetics and a seasonal battle pass. Fall Guys is a party game where you play online against other players. The game comprises a variety of mini-games where you must qualify for the next round. You've likely seen gameplay footage of the Tiptoe minigame on TikTok or YouTube where players try to avoid falling down to the next level of tiles. At the end, a winner is crowned, and you start a new round. We like this one because it doesn't take itself seriously. Plus, rounds don't take a super long time to play, so you can play this on your couch in a few minutes when you have the time. Plus, it's a great game for kids if you have those. A chaotic mix of arcade racing and soccer, Rocket League has been a fixture of the free-to-play scene since it shifted to the model back in 2020, pitting up to 8 players against each other as they attempt to launch a giant soccer ball into their opponent's goal using small race cars. Rocket League is simple to pick up but tricky to master. Players will have to work efficiently as a team to defend against their opposition and score stylish goals. With a huge community, Rocket League is arguably one of the most popular multiplayer titles in the gaming space right now. It's also updated frequently, with developer Psyonix adding new seasons, events, game modes, and cosmetics regularly. All of Rocket League's multiplayer modes are free, with players able to purchase cosmetic items from an in-game store. Apex Legends is an incredibly fun battle royale that allows you to pick a character based on their skill set. If you're more of a run-and gunner, you might enjoy a character like Bangalore who can set off smoke bombs to hide her tracks and rain down a barrage of bombs on enemies. If you like to play things more tactically, you can always try out Watson, who can build electric perimeter fences to help keep enemies away from certain areas. As another free-to-play game available on Switch, you can hop in right now and give another battle royale a spin. Just released in 2023, LEGO Fortnite is a new free-to-play survival game that combines concepts from both Minecraft and Fortnite. It's a great entry point into survival games that brings the fun of some of the best LEGO games to players for free. We gave LEGO Fortnite a 7 out of 10 in our review of the game, in part due to the game still being in its early stages. Guardian Tales has experienced a successful life on mobile platforms, and it's also a great free Nintendo Switch game. It's an RPG where you explore the game world, defeat bad guys, find rare loot, solve puzzles, and progress through the game's story. The top-down action RPG gameplay is easy to wrap your head around, and it doesn't take long to learn how the game works. In addition to the PvE stuff, there's also a PvP element where you can assemble a party of your characters and battle it out with opponents online in real time. For social features, there are guilds that you can join with your friends and play the co-op game mode. It's an overall enjoyable experience, especially if you like RPGs. Blizzard's second iteration of its revered multiplayer, team-based hero shooter, Overwatch 2 welcomed a wealth of new players when it launched in late 2022. Focusing on 5v5 battles, players choose a hero and fight against the opposing team, using their character's abilities to back up squad mates and win the game. Overwatch 2 is a constantly evolving experience, with Blizzard adding new events and updating the game frequently. All of Overwatch 2's multiplayer modes are free to play, while its heroes can be unlocked by playing matches. Alternatively, they can all be unlocked with a one-time fee via the Hero Pack. Microtransactions are limited to unlocking cosmetics and purchasing a seasonal battle pass. Arena of Valor. It's the video game formerly known as Realm of Valor and Strike of Kings, and it was the first MOBA to arrive on the Nintendo Switch. It has its problems, mainly queue times and features that are available on mobile but not on the Switch, but it's still a great game to jump into. There's nothing like playing a MOBA on your couch, am I right? With multiple gameplay modes, including 5v5, 3v3, 1v1 and a Hook Wars mode, there's tons of different ways to get into Arena of Valor. Arena of Valor is accessible and enjoyable, with a fairly simple control scheme and some truly enjoyable gameplay, and it's free. Pokemon features 2 free games and both made our list. The first, Pokemon Quest, is an action-adventure game where you explore Tumblecube Island in search of loot. Players also establish a base camp with various upgrades available to your camp in Pokemon. It's a fairly chill experience overall, but it's a lot simpler than standard Pokemon games. Pokemon Unite is an online multiplayer game where teams of 5 match up to see who can score the most points. It has similar gameplay mechanics to a MOBA. Players battle it out for 10 minutes and then the team with the highest score at the end wins. You'll start with a weaker Pokemon and then level it up as the game progresses to help you score more points. First up, there's the small matter of Warframe, one of the best free-to-play shooters of the last few years that has seemingly effortlessly ported to Switch. Predictably, the adventures of the Tenno aren't quite as sharp as they are on PS4, but that won't stop you marveling at just how slick and fluid the shootery action is here and wondering how on earth so much of it is absolutely free. A little like starting a TV show in the middle of Season 5, Warframe is initially intimidating, but once you've chosen your Warframe and your skills, everything seems a little easier to understand and you can concentrate on the glossy PvE-ness at hand. Think impressive free-to-play Destiny on Switch, complete with grind, and you're on the right murderous space track. Initially released as a tie-in with Fallout 4, Fallout Shelter is a management sim that puts players in the role of a vault overseer. The prestigious position gives them the ability to create, manage, and ultimately run one of the franchise's iconic vaults, keeping its dwellers fed, housed, and happy. And dwellers on missions into the wasteland. Fallout Shelter is fully playable for free, with microtransactions limited to purchasing loot crates containing new dwellers, pets, weapons, resources, and bottles of Nuka-Cola Quantum, which speed up activities. Super Kirby Clash is a multiplayer action game. You team up with up to 3 other players to take on boss fights. Bosses are various enemies found throughout the various Kirby games, so fans of the franchise will see some familiar faces. Additionally, players will craft weapons, obtain armor, and nab items to help along the journey. The game boasts over 100 quests, but they're all mostly the same thing, which is big boss fights. In that, the game doesn't score points for variety. However, it's a quick, chill arcade game that you can pick up and put down whenever you need to. Plus, Kirby is awesome. A free-to-play dungeon crawler set in the Elder Scrolls universe, The Elder Scrolls Blades has players step into the shoes of one of the last surviving members of the Blades as they rebuild their town and take on various quests. Ditching the open-world format of other Elder Scrolls games, Blades is a linear action RPG where players raid dungeons for loot and experience. They can then use the resources they find to rebuild their hometown, creating a personal settlement that houses new NPCs and additional quests. Alongside the main campaign, Blades also features online PvP and an endless dungeon mode, allowing players to traverse a randomly generated, never-ending level for experience and other rewards. The Elder Scrolls Blades 3 modes are playable for free. However, it's worth taking into account that the game has been heavily criticized for its intrusive microtransactions, which slow progression by forcing you to wait out long in-game timers that are only sped up via purchasable currency. Even among fighting game fans, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate can be divisive. The brand of gravity wrangling, weapon raining combat might not be for you, even if you enriched your youth every available quarter into Street Fighter 2. And that's where the excellent Brawlhalla comes in. It's a free, immediate, beautifully designed fighter that will give a clear sense of how you'll manage Smash's frenetic combat. But more than this, it's an excellent standalone scrapper in its own right. There's a huge selection of characters, pixel-perfect platforming, and an active, engaged community. And if anything, the crisp design and cartoony presentation might actually be easier to parse than Ultimate's boisterous and explosive design. The bad news though is that this means you'll have no excuse when a cartoon Viking smacks you into oblivion with an axe. Sky, Children of Light is arguably the most relaxing game on the list. It's an action-adventure game where you traverse the game world in search of its many secrets. There are 7 realms to play through, each with its own puzzles and challenges. There are also in-game events, like concerts and other things, to keep players engaged. The neat part is that it's essentially a light MMO, and you'll see other players doing their thing while you're doing yours. You can interact with players at your leisure, play with them, and just hang out in general using the game's communication tools. It's honestly adorable. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. I would like to remind you that in the description we have a list of different products that can make your gaming experience much better. If you want to buy, the link will be in the description. Anyway, thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.